Zach Maslany now making his way to the stage. Maslany in the black and white. 666 expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. It's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a beautiful.
Great technique. It's
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Hello and welcome to Zach's Corner Podcast. I have no idea what number it is. And this is actually the second one I've recorded today. And this is one that is from the compound here, Finishers Enterprises headquarters. And I have a special guest on the podcast today, none other than the Kat Maslany, my wife. Say hi, babe.
Hey.
This is actually Kat's second appearance on the podcast, and that one you did really early on when I first got this started, I think, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I think it's crazy how far your podcast has come. This is your second one today. I mean, in times of need, 2 podcasts a day is definitely essential.
Yeah, so. It's pretty crazy. And I did one Monday too, so I'm talking a lot of shit. But
I mean, times of need because we're in the middle of self quarantine and
I got nothing else to
crazy
do.
Viruses out there, and oh man, it's really, really.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, there's so much stuff to talk about, but I'm just trying to keep the podcast coming, and this is actually I'll have to see what number you were on, but this is actually, it's either 47 or 48 or something like that. So, but yeah, we're sitting here in the kitchen. I got my Batman mug. Kat made me a latte on our, what's the name of that machine?
Breville.
Breville, yeah, that's right. So far, I know other people. Shout out to Lucia. She went out and bought one. I know other people have bought, I think Herf, does he have one yet?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Herf got one now, so a bunch of people are going to buy these, but we got 2 lattes going right now.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's 5:24 at night, and we're chilling, and we're bored, and we're losing it.
I think we are losing it.
Yeah, we're losing it. So, I mean, we're doing good, but, Kat's a teacher, so her job is, pretty much toast, I think. I mean...
Well, I am a teacher, but I am a preschool teacher, so not to give you the full story, but it's a little bit different. Like, we don't run off of public school education, being it's a private school that I teach preschool for. So anyway, it's just been a crazy situation and I know everybody's going through a lot of stuff, so just figuring out what that means for our preschool, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I think the thing that's bothering people the most out of anything, I think, is just not knowing, the uncertainty of what's going on. Am I going back to work? Am I not going back to work? One of our dogs almost just threw up, I think. You all right, buddy? You all right? But yeah, that's the thing. I was late when I was doing construction. I was laid off before, so I remember what it's like to be laid off and not know what's going on. I mean, I was younger and I didn't really care as much, and but now it's I'm running my own business, so it's me and JM every day. We're taking it pretty good, but every day you're like, Jesus, what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
Today they just announced. That it's what's it called? A stay in your house order? Stay at home?
Yeah.
Stay at home order. So, I don't know. I see so much conflicting stuff, but yeah, I mean, stay at home order, so we all have to just stay home and go into the grocery store. But you know what? I'm not going to go nuts on it because I've been going nuts on it, but it's kind of bullshit that liquor stores and beer distributors and gun stores are open now.
I don't think that are the liquor stores open?
I think maybe, I don't know, but beer stores are still open. And it's kind of listen, I love beer, and I drank a beer today, and I love guns too, but I don't think those should be open. If we're really shutting down, let's shut down, because it's unfair to me that I have to be shut down.
Yeah.
And it's unfair to people who are losing their jobs that they have to be shut down just because they're not life essential. I think that's BS, but I mean, it's just crazy. It's just, and like I said, it's just the uncertainty where it's like, you don't know, there are other states that are even worse where they haven't told them, like I know the New York, shout out to Ray and Cece, they're just, it's indefinite. Like they don't have no idea. There's not even a date.
Yeah.
So, and New York's screwed. I mean, they're in Zombieville anyways. I mean, how New York is. There's so many people and so gross, and, so many people get sick in New York too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't know. So many people get sick all the time. So, yeah. But New York's always going to be a problem.
Yeah, they're always going to be an issue.
Yeah, there's just so many people there.
And people on the subways, and when I went to Japan, it's even worse in New York. If you brush up, I mean, people are in tight, but so many people are just like, the homeless people, and people are gross in New York, and they touch things, and you don't want to touch that stuff. Now, granted, in Japan, people are very close to one another, but they're usually all wearing masks, but no one really touches. You'll bang into one another, but no one's like touching a bunch of stuff, and people are cleaner in Japan for whatever reason. So, that being said, the virus came from China. So, I mean, who knows? But I don't know. People are saying all types of stuff, but it's just so I just can't believe it sometimes that we're just sitting here. Now it's another week. So it's like, anxiety levels of everybody are up. You don't even know whether you're going back. You may or may not go back. Like some people already lost their jobs. Some people, we know how many people who own their own businesses now. A lot. And a lot of people are hitting me up. Like they're nervous as shit too.
Yeah. I am nervous, but at the same time, like I am really, really trying to keep like a level head about everything. And honestly, I've just, like I said the other day, and I'm like up and down, and I said it earlier today, it's like I'm bipolar, like I'm back and forth. I'm like, oh, well, it's like, it's really sucks, but then I'm like, oh, well, it's not that bad. I'm trying to see the silver lining. And yeah, it's
everyone's just like one day at a time,
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm taking it, though, honestly. Like, it's so hard to do that, but it's also so hard not to. I mean, like, new things are happening every day, I feel
every hour. That's what you're saying.
It's just such a stressed out state, but I really, truly, like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, I really, really, truly feel like the universe is just trying to like give us an opportunity to just like realize some shit and fix some problems. So like I'm trying to find the most positive thing that could happen, and that would be that in the near future things get better
because of it,
a lot of different ways.
Yeah, so, like you can either, like you said this, I think you said it this morning. Like you were like, look, I could either choose to, be mad and give up on the things I've been working on now, or you can just do them and you can't blame the quarantine, or you can't blame being out for not working on your stuff or working on your situation, whatever it is.
Yeah, I have I feel like a pretty shitty situation going on right now with like my job and not knowing like if I'm going to get paid or like when I might be able to apply for unemployment or whatever. But I'm like just trying to take the time, because I like before all of this was complaining about like how stressed I was and like all that stuff, and I kept just saying like how much I needed a vacation. Now I am upset because we're not going on vacation. We were supposed to leave today to go,
and the weather sucks around here. Even check the weather.
But I feel like this is not a vacation at all. But I do feel like it's given me a lot more time to focus on some other things that I've been meaning to focus on, like even just reading books, and like I'm enrolled in a doula certification, so like I haven't even had time to do that. This has given me time to do that. It's given me time to definitely work out once a day, if not twice a day. It's given me time to meditate every single day. And those things, like, as much as I want to do them every single day, all the time, it's just, I do feel like time gets away from me. And by the end of each day when I'm working, it's like, oh, I just don't have time to do like all those self-care tasks, and it's sad to say that. So like I think that's like one thing that I'm learning from this is just like no matter what, when everything goes back to normal, no matter what, I need to make that time to do those things.
Yeah. Yeah, those are important. That's what Craig was saying this morning when I talked to him, or whenever it was this afternoon. He was saying he's been taking more time to like meditate, to just try to,
get your thoughts right. I don't know, journal. Like I have a journal too, and I just been writing down things that come to me, things that are bothering me, and then I can look at it and be like, oh shit, that was bothering me. I don't know why, and then just trying to figure it out, just like doing some serious like self-discovery.
Yeah.
And then like,
well, you got the time. That's the thing. I mean, they don't even want you to leave your house at all. I've been sneaking to the business and just checking on the place, and like I record a podcast while I'm there, film some moves. Just
I think that's healthy though, and I think that's good. I mean, like I said this to you the other day, and for you people out there, but I was like, I love you, but like it's so hard, like spending every second of every day with you. I mean, I love it. At the same time, it's like there's some times that I'm a very introverted person, and I'm just like, I just
you need to take a break. Well, I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people right now.
I'll just spend extra time on the toilet. All that money we put into toilet paper.
We still have a bunch, so you know what I mean? I'm guarding that shit with my life, but we have, I've been talking to a lot of people that are like, they're like, oh shit, like it's whoever they're with, even with, obviously you love your kids, but you hang out with your kids long enough, eventually.
I think the dogs are confused too.
Yeah, they're definitely confused because they're not on the same poop schedule as usual.
Yeah, sometimes
they're pissing me off with that because they're like not going on purpose.
Oh,
because
there's money out there.
They're like, what the hell time is it? They don't have no idea. So.
Merlot and Ziggy,
great, huh?
She's a beast.
Guys! Hey, no!
Hey.
Alright, hold on. Alright, we're back. We had to take a second break because the dogs were fighting and also going after a rabbit that they could see through the sliding glass door. So, but yeah, the dogs are definitely confused. So I can't imagine, I know a lot of people, especially all the kids at the school, I can't imagine what they're doing at home just, stuck inside, and especially if you don't want them to play video games. I know, like, shout out to some of the moms, the kids at the school. Like, I follow them on Instagram and I see them, like, they're getting creative. You know what I mean? I saw Justin Patton's wife, Rachel. I seen her dressed up like Scooby-Doo. Like, they got 2 kids, and Jamie's at home with the 2 kids, and like, he's working from home and stuff. So I'm sure it's pretty crazy out there. Like, I can't imagine. What also sucks is I'm like, oh man, I got all this free time. So sometimes I'm like, I'll swing through and see my dad. And I really don't want to. Like, you can think I think what I want about the coronavirus, but I'm still not going to put my dad in harm's way, or risk putting my Nana or something in harm's way. So I can't go see my mom either. We haven't we haven't seen your mom, and then your dad just got a surgery, so we haven't gone to see him. So it's like kind of sucks. You can't even go see your family. And that kind of makes me mad.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. I was like, that it really sucks that I couldn't go see anybody, and I know that everybody's feeling a little just cooped up and stir crazy at this point, but
yeah. So anyways, one thing I wrote some stuff down, but one thing like I did, the first thing I wrote down was funny is the dogs know. That's what I wrote. I'm like, the dogs for sure. I don't know if any of you guys else got dogs out there, and cats and stuff, but our dogs are very they're super smart. They know when something's going on. They know when we're packing up, like if we're going on vacation. They know if I'm packing up.
Mm-hmm.
They start acting weird.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, we're going for. I
They're
don't even
very
want to say it.
instinctual.
Yeah, I want to say like we're going on a RIDE, and they're like, oh, they go right to my car. They know to jump in, and they know where my mom lives and everything, and they know. When we've been home these past couple of days, I think they're just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're
definitely. There's been a couple of times that they've definitely looked at me like, are you leaving? Or like what? Like when I get up in the morning, because usually I get up in the morning and then I just go right into the bathroom. I start getting ready and doing my thing. But I've been like sleeping in, not really sleeping in, but I've been staying definitely in bed a little bit longer. And I think that anytime I get up, they just look at me like, are you coming back? I'm like,
Well, I know I've been getting more sleep lately, and that's really good for me because sometimes I don't sleep as much, and I think like one of the things you said, the self-care stuff, like that's definitely helping me. Like my it was really sore yesterday, but I'm trying to just, like some of the guys, I was talking with Craig about the strength conditioning, and I'm gonna do some workouts, and I've been doing some light stuff, but I've been just taking this time. I haven't taken off for a long period of time in a while. So besides the time when I actually thought I had the coronavirus, and I still think I did, but besides that time, I haven't taken that much time off from training, especially with the double scoliosis. Now that I have that, like I'm trying to like just chill, but I just, like we were talking this morning, I have to like take this time and revamp a whole bunch of stuff, change a schedule at the school, working on different things, working on the handbook, like definitely got to get into my stretching and stuff way more. So, I just got to get into that big time. So, but yeah, that sleeping but like these guys for sure, 100% know something's up. So they're not on the regular poop schedule, which is the main thing that I could tell you. Yeah, I know, because this morning we walked all over the place, and they were just like, getting distracted, and they're just like, to me, they're just like, yeah, we don't need to poop. We got all day.
We've hit a really big new level of like dog crazy.
What?
They have a poop schedule.
I know. Well, usually, come on, whose dog doesn't poop right in the morning, and then later on in the afternoon, and sometimes again later at night, depending on how late I stay up. So
it's weird. It's not normal.
Yeah, because they know they're like, what are you worried about? Whether I go now? We got all day. You ain't going anywhere. That's exactly why.
That's so true.
Yeah, they're like, you're not going nowhere. We're hanging out. Let's watch movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're funny. They watch movies and stuff. So
they have our new schedule down. They're getting our new schedule down.
We watched. What do you think of that Tiger King?
Oh my God,
that was pretty crazy. We watched a couple.
I know you've been talking with everybody about this Tiger King thing, and honestly, like it's funny. It's really funny, but what the hell? They'll just make like
anything,
like a show.
It was funny though.
I just can't believe that that's like a real thing.
Yeah. Big cat people are jerks. All those people are jerks to each other. So school's out. So they don't even right now. They said school's not even going to. You've been doing some online stuff with the students, though. Virtual. A lot of people are doing virtual shit. We're doing a virtual.
Yeah,
moves.
I mean, I teach preschool, pre-K, to be more specific.
But it's like a specialty pre-K though. It's not. Yeah, just like a regular.
It's an arts-based preschool. Right. It's called Reggio Emilia. That's the approach, and it's an approach out of Italy. Anyway, but so we do things, like a little bit differently. So we have been trying to upload on our private Facebook page for our families, like some ideas of things to do at home, and now we're like getting the hang of it a little bit more, because at first I think we were really just like, what the heck can we do like for preschoolers? And then so now we've like started like a planning sheet, like an online like Google Docs that we all add to, like so I asked the parents, I was like, okay, what are some interests that you're seeing at home? Like, what are your children talking about? And so they said animals and like sea creatures. So it's actually really cool. we've been able to like upload the teachers reading stories. I did. We do the letter a specific type of way. It's called Handwriting Without Tears, and it's really an awesome way to learn writing and letter recognition. So I put up a video of me doing the letter Z for zoo, and then we've had like other. Somebody made a snack that was like an owl. That was used like peanut butter and like a bunch of different things to make like an owl out of like a rice cake.
Oh, nice.
So we've just been trying to put like a bunch of stuff up, but a lot of businesses like the Cincinnati Zoo and like places like that, like they've been live streaming like their like tours. Like they'll take you to see like a cheetah. So, like, you can go and, like, look up the Cincinnati Zoo and, like, watch, their cheetahs.
That's sick. I remember we went to the zoo, we were watching, like, the live stream of the gorillas and all that stuff, or wasn't that Philadelphia Zoo?
No.
Yeah, remember we went in the Philadelphia Zoo and they were, like, up above that time we were there? And
yeah.
They had a live stream of but it was just cameras that were turned on.
I know what you're talking about.
And then there was that TV show with the giraffes or something you guys were watching for a while.
Yeah. They do. There are places that do things like that. They do it with, like, the peregrine falcons and, like, bald eagles and stuff. But, like, this was, like, this is different. This is because of, like, everything that's going on. Anyway, it's been really cool. So we're trying to incorporate some different ways because, like, it's definitely, I give it to the parents out there. It's definitely hard, especially if you have children that are of multiple age groups. Like,
to teach them?
Yeah, if you've got, like, a child in middle school, a child in elementary school, and then, like, an infant, like...
Jesus.
But that's, like, the dynamic of a lot of people, a lot of families. So it's, like...
Well, I'm sure. Well, Mary Romano's kids are older now, but I'm sure she dealt with that. Well,
she homeschools anyway.
Yeah,
so she's used to that.
Yeah. But I'm saying she had a bit. I mean, well, she does have little guy. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not taking it away from her. I mean, it's still crazy regardless.
Oh yeah.
Jump into that.
Oh, from zero to that. Oh shit!
Like,
that's crazy. Yeah. Mary's a professional.
And not to mention, but those parents out there are also a lot of the time working from home, like doing stuff on their computer.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. That's got to be crazy. Yeah. So what have the parents at the school? You don't have to get into specifics, obviously, but like, have they been receptive to the kids being home, or they're just like shit? Well, a lot of them are.
I don't think anybody's really said anything except for. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's really said anything. It's kind of like known, like recognized, like we understand, like what's going on.
Well, even if I think people would probably want to keep their kids home during this.
Some parents have been like super like, just creative and like they've been posting a lot of stuff out there, and it's nice to see that people are like searching for things to do. I do think that like. Right now, in the stage that we're in, I think we're like halfway to like absolutely fucking nuts. I know, I'm sorry, but
it's my podcast.
I'm so not used to. See, that's another thing. I'm not used to doing that, but although I curse on my podcast, but I don't know. It's
it's still weird sometimes. But my question is also...
I'm sorry. We're halfway to people being absolutely freaking nuts.
Yeah, I know.
Because, like, yeah, it was known that we were going to be out for a little bit of time, but now it's like, okay.
Well, do you think,
is it going to end?
Yeah, regardless of what happens, I know they said April 6th or something for you guys, but businesses maybe April 1st or something, or whatever, or April 6th for that, and April 13th for whatever. I don't even know the fucking dates anymore, but... What do you think, let's say, whatever happens this year, who knows, right? But do you think next year people will be more interested in homeschooling their kids because of this, because they've had experience, or you think less interested? Or you think more people will be like, you know what? Or even just more people will be scared and be like, I'm not sending my kids to get coronavirus at the high school. I'm keeping them home.
I think it's going... I don't really know, honestly, because I want to say that I feel like people will just go back to normal. I do think that it will have some people thinking
Even if
about
school's
that.
out all year, if they're just like, you know what, wrap it up, you're not coming back. Next year just goes back to normal.
No, I think people would be really nervous if they did that because I know for a fact, like, I'm not saying that anyone's stupid or anything like that, but I know there are parents out there that have children in high school that the shit they do in high school, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. If we had a child that was in high school, I'd be nervous because I don't think I could supply them with like that detailed math and stuff like that.
I know,
That's hard, especially if that's like, if that's just not what you're into. So
well, I'm not into that. I only know how to count money.
that's what I'm saying. Though, that would be not so good.
Yeah. How the hell did Grace's mom do it?
She must be really smart.
I mean, I don't know if she knows that shit. You know what I mean? I'll have to ask her. If not, Mary Jo should apply to be a teacher. Jesus.
I know that like they're all doing like online school and stuff like that, so you wouldn't have to worry too much. But like if they just couldn't get it, like I would worry about their education suffering.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because there's not a professional there that has been hired to help them do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was always said, like when you're in school, if you need help, you have to ask for the help. But if you ask for the help from the teacher, you're going to get help.
Yeah.
So, but like if you are at home and you don't have that access, you might not get help because they might not be that kind of learner,
Yeah.
Like that's my whole thing with like everybody's a different kind of learner. We talked about this, I'm pretty sure, the first podcast that I was on with you, but everyone's a different kind of learner. I personally don't mind online learning because I did do a lot of online learning in college, but it does take a little bit more effort. Like everyone's like, oh, it's online, so much easier.
Yeah, you got to
Not
do
really,
this stuff, yeah.
Because if you don't understand, then you have to literally teach yourself a lot of shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at teaching myself stuff, like I'm not going to lie. But that being said, science shit and chemistry and math, I would need someone. I would need like like if I had to go back even, I'm sure I could teach myself a lot of shit because now I think through martial arts and through jiu-jitsu, I've learned how to teach myself things and I've learned how to figure things out through repetition. But I would need through math and chemistry, I would need someone sitting there with me being like, okay, Zach, this and this. You see, like if I had someone there like that teaching me it, I would have learned way better. But when I was a kid, I never cared about that stuff and I wasn't into it and I sucked at it. So and like you said, I just never asked for the help most of the time. And I just figured it out myself and then I rolled through school with C grades.
Yeah.
As opposed to having A, B. I'd have B, C. If I would have asked for help, I feel like I would have had way more, I just would have did better overall.
Yeah, and it stinks too because all these teachers out there, like, they didn't have time to prepare for this. Yeah. It was like, oh, we're all at home. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So they're learning the system on how, like, to do the online courses and things like that. And at the same time, still having to teach.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. One of our dogs is now eating a squeak toy, which is probably going to be so annoying. You're in trouble. Ziggy, 10 push-ups, go. He's like, what did I do? I don't understand.
Oh my God.
All right, so next thing on the list I wanted to ask you. So far I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the whole coronavirus thing. Obviously, you probably are, but like doing the research like how we are. But I would say, I've been saying like, and I know sometimes I'm irrational with my feelings because, I want things to go a certain way. And I was saying like, it's the bad flu and it could be just a bad flu. And everyone's like, Zach, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I already had it before. But now there's studies coming out of Oxford that says that this virus has probably been around since back when I'm saying I had it. And then also, on top of that, last Joe Rogan podcast with Bert Kreischer comes on and says that, Joe Rogan starts talking about how the one guy had, had it really bad and it could matter on what blood type you are. It could matter if you have previous respiratory problems, which we talked about before. Mm-hmm. It could matter, if you're, the one doctor said, like, if you've been vaping or anything like that. So if you, smoke, I'm sure it could affect you, right? So there's a lot of different underlying things. And, He also said that the guy was saying how he lost his sense of taste and smell. I did. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I could not, and Kat could attest to this, and she was, I mean, you saw how long I was sick. You were sick less than me. I had it worse. And or you got a better immune system, whatever. And I was like toasted, and I could not. I remember I was saying to you, like, we both were saying, I'm like, I can't taste anything. I can't. How can I not smell?
Yeah.
Like I would put my nose right up to it and be like, what the? I don't get. It was like the craziest thing.
Even after like everything had cleared up. Like, it was still like it took forever to taste and smell.
Yeah, that's right. Uncle Zach probably had the coronavirus already, and I beasted through it. And then it was like a month. I did the finishers 10. I didn't compete. It was the one when I was on the mic, but you guys know I was coughing, loading mats. So I'm doing that whole shit, running this piece. You know, the finishers open with the coronavirus. I think. You know what I mean? You guys can call me in if you want. And then. But it's all the symptoms. It's all the symptoms. And other people are scientists, and, you know, they're saying, some people are saying that it could have been around. I feel like we had it. And it wasn't just us. It was Jules. It was Grace. There were a bunch of people, you know, that had the same stuff as us, you know. What was I going to say to that? I forget. What was I going to next? Oh, the different things you know you can do to try to, if you're feeling these type of, this is just probably if you're feeling the flu in general. Now, if it's a mild case, cold or flu, right? Now, I'm not talking like a mild case of the coronavirus. I'm just talking like a mild cold, right? Things like that, like even before you're traveling, which I started doing some of the things, it's just number one, staying hydrated, right? And when people say I'm dehydrated, you're not dehydrated, but you are a little bit, but your body needs more water.
Number one thing is you have to take more water.
Yeah, water, and also lemon water, right? So that's what Kat always suggests to me to do when I'm traveling, because I do get dehydrated and migraines. That's why I can't drink on the plane, guys. People are like, I'll just drink on the plane. That's one of the worst things you could possibly do, in my opinion. Because people think, like, I'll just get hammered on a plane. Maybe when you're, like, in your 20s and you're just, whatever, but it doesn't even matter. The alcohol dehydrates you. And it gives me, I get massive migraine headaches to when I get to the place. By the time we get the rental car, it doesn't matter what I do. I'm going to get a headache, I'm going to throw up, and I have to lay down for a little bit until I can rehydrate myself. It's the craziest thing. Now, I've been punching the head a bunch of times, but that happens to a lot of people. You get dehydrated, so you can't drink on a plane. So what was it? Just lemon water, right? That's all.
Yeah. I always, everyday life, you've got to be drinking a lot of water. We've upped our water ever since we got the Berkey system, which has been really awesome.
Tell them about the Berkey system, because that is a hitter right there.
I don't know what to say about it, except for it's a really awesome water filter
it's a water filtration system.
Yeah. We have the regular black Berkey filters, and then we also purchased the fluoride filters for it. And it's just so great. It holds a lot of water, a gallon of water.
That's one of my chores at night, is to fill it up with 2 things of water before we go to bed.
You do a good job.
And then I also fill up the coffee machine so that we're ready to rock in the morning. That's called being prepared.
We do have a good system.
Yeah.
I do thank you for that.
But so you can literally take water from, I don't drink, I'm sure people are out there like, I've been drinking tap water. It's just gross too. I don't like the way it tastes.
When we got this new system, I swear, Zach and I were just like,
you can't believe it. You're like,
it tastes different. It tastes different.
It tastes better. It just tastes cleaner. And especially when one of the things, like Kat listens to this one guy, and I do listen to him every now and then when I get a chance to. His name's Luke Story, has a podcast, and he's like, what do they call him? He's a biohacker. A biohacker, and he's got all this different shit that we've learned from him. And one of the things, he had somebody on talking about, this is where we learned about the water filter. You learned about it from him, right?
Well, he's mentioned it, but he's all about collecting your own spring water, which I would love to do, but I'm going to be honest, here in Pennsylvania,
it's probably not, But we live right by the Monocacy. We live right by the Monocacy, but you could take the Monocacy water, put it in there, and they'll clean it. Easy, right?
Yeah. Oh, the Berkey filter is great. It will filter out.
It's only like $300. It's worth it. It's worth it. And also, too, you know what he said was, maybe it was them, some podcast you told me about, where it's basically like, all the stuff they flush down the toilet or all that stuff, that's like all,
like all.
People explain this to people, because when I tell them that, I'm like, because someone's like, hey, Zach, like, they'll be at the school, they're like, do you have any water? And I'm like, no, I don't. They're like, I'll just get water from the tap. I'm like, dude, don't drink that, man. That's gross, dude. You're going to make me sick. And they're like, why? I'm like, dude, what?
Tap water on the back there?
Yes.
Ew! Ew! I'm sorry. If you're drinking that, you've got like nuclear poisoning in your blood. Oh my god.
Well, what is in the regular water? Explain it why it's so bad.
Everything. Oh my gosh. Everything that is outside that's detrimental to your body. Pharmaceuticals.
So it's like people didn't they say some stats like people are flushing pharmaceuticals down the toilet, flushing condoms down the toilet, flushing all types of gross shit, and that all is in the system.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they use horrible chemicals to filter it out. That's why a lot of water tastes like bleach and chlorine, because they use fucking the most awful, like, horrible chemicals that ruin your endocrine system and fuck up your hormones, and it's just so bad. And like, that's what I know. I see people drinking out of the tap all the time, and I'm just like,
back in the day,
I don't even want to tell you. That's just, even if you're drinking like water from a Brita or like a pure filter, that's better than drinking just tap water.
But
like,
even
you have
that
to
to
start
me,
somewhere.
even that to me, the water that towards the end, the water that we're getting from those filters tastes gross to me. It tasted like there was like a film on it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they weren't filtering the way, like, and I've learned so much about the water since I saw the thing on the EWG about, and that's where you can get more information. You can put in your zip code, the EWG.org. You put in your zip code, and it tells you like all the things that is in your water, and it just like totally freaked me out. And then we just watched that movie. What's that movie?
Oh,
the DuPont thing.
Shit, Blackwater.
I don't remember, but it was in.
It's with the one dude. He played Incredible Hulk the one time.
Was it in
That's all
Ohio?
I can tell you.
Gosh, well, I don't know. We just watched this movie the other day. We can't remember a single fucking thing about it. But I do know the one thing about the movie was that the water was being contaminated by the company DuPont. It was DuPont.
Yeah, DuPont. Yeah. It was being contaminated. The water was being contaminated, so all the animals were dying, and then also they were the ones.
People were coming up with cancer and all sorts of shit.
Teflon.
And like the Teflon, and the Aaron Brockovich thing, and like all that shit. Anyway, that's why we got this Berkey water filter. I personally, like, we live in a townhome, and that's one reason why I definitely wanted to have a good water filtration system. Also, because I'm pretty sure that they are still some copper pipes. So I wanted to eliminate that. But I really, like, when we purchase a home at some point, it's got to be reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Or some sort of like super awesome.
We'll just get it built right into the
filtration system. Because we also have a filter on our shower, but the name of it I am blanking on right now. But it's nice. I definitely can tell a difference in my skin.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Same thing. It just felt gross. It just the hair in my beard would just feel like gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's important. That's a big tip for you guys right there, especially you guys.
Water.
Yeah, you need to fix your water, son. But you know what's crazy? Back in the day, I used to drink out of the hose. I would come home from baseball.
Me too, but that's probably why we all have like lead and shit in our systems now.
Back in the day, I would come home from baseball or come home from riding my bike, and instead of going in and getting a glass of water, I would turn the hose on and pick it up and drink out of it and just soak myself down during the summer. My mom would be like, "What are you doing?" But you know what? My grandmother and them, they never really... You know, to older people like that, that's hogwash. They were like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I didn't drink out of the thing. You know what I mean? But nowadays, you can't do that shit. Because people contaminated that shit. You ruined it for everybody.
It probably wasn't as bad that many years
No, it couldn't have been as bad. But also, they didn't know.
Although, I just don't even know.
Yeah, who knows? But what else I want to talk about? Oh, what other things can you do to boost your immune system? Like, let's say, I mean, not just for the coronavirus, because that does help, but what other things can you do, like, especially for, like, traveling and just, and a lot of people listening to this are jiu-jitsu people, and you need to have a strong immune system when you're doing jiu-jitsu, when you're wrestling, and doing any kind of sport, because you're around a lot of people, close contact, you're going to get sick. Yeah. So...
Well, that I couldn't remember what had started that conversation on water, but yeah. So if you're traveling, my number one tip, and I make Zach do it all the time, is I'm like, you gotta get off the plane. I don't care what kind of bottled water. Try and find like a spring water that's like a little higher end, maybe like a Voss or like a Fiji or something like that.
Voss.
And you're going to want to get some organic lemons. If you can't find organic, whatever, just get a lemon.
Yeah.
Or a lime, actually.
Yeah, lime
and
is good too.
I always just say, like, squeeze it into your water because it has some really great hydrating properties, and it's also antiviral, the lemon and the lime. So that's my number one recommendation if you're like traveling, first off. And then there's like supplements that I recommend taking. One thing that I just heard actually was that for this coronavirus, they were using high doses of vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
We have here Ester C.
Yeah, I'm gonna order more of that shit.
Yeah, I've given it to you a couple of times.
Writing down.
It's by a brand called Vimergy. And that's the one that the medical medium recommends. And I base all of my supplements off of what he recommends because he's never let me down before. And everything, whenever I take any of the supplements or do any of his protocols, it just feels so great. So I believe in his shit. And they're saying anyway that in China they're using high doses of vitamin C for some people to get better from this coronavirus. So and just so funny that the medical medium put out the other day, like how to pretty much make your own like vitamin C like super shot using that vitamin C that we have. So that's something that I recommend. I just recommend in general, you need to take vitamin C, definitely vitamin D. And I've been learning so much, taking it way back to the summer, but learning so much about sunlight and how important it is, even from somebody that has come from a background of melanoma. I have to say, as long as you're not getting burnt, you've got to get yourself out there. Expose every part of your body that you can.
How about Facebook shut that down? You put up...
Yeah, I put up that because in 1918 there was a pandemic type situation, and they were the article was talking about how they were making beds, hospital beds, outdoors so that people could get over their illnesses. And we read that before in a book about, or when we were reading that article about melanoma, how people were...
It's a conspiracy alert.
With like leukemia and stuff like that, they were being told to spend a lot of time outdoors to help them heal because the vitamin D was helping their body like flourish and come back to life and moving the blood and stuff like that. So I don't know. I recommend definitely like a vitamin D, it's got to be a really good vitamin D supplement though. And I only know of a couple, and the kind that we take is called Pure. The brand is Pure, and it's a vitamin D3. I think it's 1,000.
We can, when we go to put in your thing, I'll put all these, I could put some links in our bio. Yeah. And then I'm an Amazon influencer, guys, so maybe you can buy this shit off Amazon if you want to buy it. So don't go buy it just yet. I'll put it in the show notes. But the conspiracy I was going to bring up, which was crazy, was the companies that make the sunscreen have been trying to fearmonger, just like this coronavirus, and make everybody scared as hell, so that way you stay out of the sun. But really, the sun is the thing that helps you heal. So you're putting these chemicals on your body to help you stay away from something that actually is good for you.
Yeah,
in general, but like you said, though.
Yeah,
you can't do it for a minute. You can't stay in the sun for 24 hours in Cancun. You're going to get burnt. And
it has to do with what you're eating too, because I've been just honestly doing so much research on this for such a long time. Everybody out there, most of us in America eat a lot of canola oil and like those rancid oils. whenever they're cooked, fried foods, the rancid oils. And I'm guilty of it just like anybody else, but like you can protect your skin by reducing or not having at all any of those rancid oils because they basically burn you from the inside.
It's like you're cooking with grease.
Yeah.
And it's the stuff's on the inside. When your body's heating up, it's you're burning your shit. It's crazy.
Because we were never meant to eat that stuff ever. So, coconut oil is probably the best thing. Or like pure olive oil, but anyway, the sunscreens out there, they have a lot of sunscreens out there have hormone disrupting chemicals that actually, in turn, make you burn.
Yeah. Stupid.
So
I remember when we were sitting on the couch finding that shit out, and I was like, wow, there's another one. They want you to stay out of this.
That's when I first found out about Luke's story, and he was talking about, like, in some of his first podcasts, he was talking about how important the sun was, and he had a lot of doctors on saying, and the owner of this company called Living Libations, which makes awesome, like, skincare and dental products. She also wrote the book Renegade Beauty, and she has the holistic dental care book. Really, like, awesome woman. If you don't know who she is, look up Living Libations because she has so much information out there on skincare and like your health.
Yeah, I mean, people have no idea about that
dental
shit.
Care and everything.
They don't know about the sunscreen. They don't know about taking the sunscreen into the ocean and killing the ocean, and they don't know about how that sunscreen actually
I mean, you can go down the rabbit hole for a really long time. Just start small. And anyway, I started with Luke's story, and then I just heard all that stuff about the sun, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and then we started looking up this book that they actually retracted, like, they don't have it, like, you can't get it anywhere.
Can't get it anymore, and it's all about the sun, how the sun is a healer,
the myth on melanoma or something like that.
Yeah, they like scrubbed it, the myth on melanoma. Try to look that shit up, conspiracy theory people, and you think Uncle Zach would lie to you? Yo, how about this one? So then you put on Facebook, though, about how people should get into the sun if you're not feeling good, to make you feel better, and Facebook took it down.
And so that's where we were going, but Facebook took it down, and then the weirdest thing was that like 2 days later, then they brought it back.
Yeah.
So I'm just crazy. Like, why take that down though? Why?
Because it's natural healing stuff, and they think that's fake news. They want you to take the vaccine and whatever.
Well, there's no vaccine.
Well, whatever, when they do. They don't want that type of stuff. They feel like you're putting out fake news to people when they are like sick, when they're like, oh, I'll just, or their excuse could be people are that dumb when they're like, oh, well, I don't have to take medicine. I just go in the sun. And you're like, no. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a tough situation. Or they don't want natural.
I feel like everyone just needs to definitely think about like doing things a little bit more natural, I guess. Yeah, but the sun is definitely your friend.
Yeah,
you definitely
all that
want to get
together.
some of that. And so vitamin D. And then another supplement that I recommend for staying healthy is spirulina.
Oh, yeah.
I take Hawaiian spirulina mostly every day. It's from a brand, Hawaii Pacific or something like that. We'll put it in the thing.
Hawaii Pacific.
And I mean, zinc. Zinc is very, very important.
That's another one. Alex Jones been talking about zinc big time. Also they said zinc helps with the coronavirus.
Everybody's deficient in zinc. So zinc is another one. Zinc sulfate.
Damn, I gotta step up my shit. I'm writing this down too. I keep
there's well, we have a lot of this.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta remember to take it. I gotta write myself notes. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you take it. I do take a lot of this stuff. Zinc, I believe we're out of.
The zinc and the vitamin C and the vitamin D, that's a no-brainer. If you're gonna start somewhere, lemon water, I mean, come on. A monkey could make that shit. And the rest of the stuff, those three right there, they're not that expensive.
Yeah, and eating a lot of
most important,
fruit in the mornings to like get yourself going, and that will. Those are my recommendations for traveling in everyday life.
Yeah, and for the coronavirus. And that's why I wanted to have you on, because I think that type of stuff is important. And, we're sitting here doing nothing. And I'm out of a latte, and we've been going for like 49 minutes. But before we cut this off, because we could just do another one in 2 weeks, because I still ain't got shit to do until we're about to open back up. But I just want to say to all the Finishers fam out there, thank you guys for sticking with us. And I appreciate everybody. I'm trying to put out as much content as possible. And, if you need help with something or you got questions, just, feel free to hit me up. Hit up JM, Andrew Jones, whatever. But I think, honestly, it is a revamp time, and we are going to make ourselves stronger from this and come back even better. So I know people are fired up to get back in the gym. So, it's just going to make things better. I just hope Governor Wolf gets his head out of his ass. But the last thing I want to bring up with you is, how about the fight we almost saw at Wegmans?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
oh my god, we cannot forget about this. And this is why, it goes back to what I was saying about restarting, and this is going to be a good thing in turn, because I've just seen so much negative shit from people, and it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. We were at the grocery store, and we were in the chip aisle. Okay, I was looking for corn tortillas that they did not have.
Blue corn tortillas.
But did I flip out? No, I didn't flip out. I was just like, okay, I'll find different blue corn tortillas. It's all good. They had to be organic though. So anyway, all of a sudden, there's this guy. He's putting more chips out. He's working at Wegmans, doing his fucking thing.
Now it's packed there, and they already have. Let me set the scene. It's a packed aisle. It's a packed aisle. The guy's got a huge cart. Right, and I worked at a grocery store when I was a kid. He has a huge cart, flatbed with the two tops, loaded up higher than him with boxes. So 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall with boxes. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to load up bags. And the line, they have every other, it can't be two lines next to each other. It's like every other line. There's a cop at Wegmans now, just so you guys know, because who the fuck knows. And then also the lines, you have to social distance, so you have to be far enough behind, right? We'll go over the debacle with the line in a minute, but the lines, you have to be so far behind each other. So instead of the line being moved all the way up and you're at a normal pace, it's like playing hopscotch. And there's the line is backed up into the chip aisle also. Mm-hmm. So it's extra crammed. All right. So
it's pretty crammed. And so the guy's putting the chips on the thing. Then all of a sudden I see this woman and her daughter, and her daughter looked like, I don't know. She looked like she was lost. I don't know. People are turning to zombies out there. Anyway, but
she had her hands in her sweatshirt. And
I don't know. So she walks up to her mom, and her mom's she's whispering something, and she's pulling out these antibacterial wipes from, I don't even know where the fuck she's pulling them out of.
Her pocket. She had her in her pocket.
She's huffing and puffing. She's pulling out these fucking wipes, and she's starting to wipe down the handle of the car, and then she turns around to the chip guy, and she's and I shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, because I wanted to fucking punch this woman. But anyway, she looks at the guy and she's like, excuse me, sir. You shouldn't have touched my cart.
Yeah.
I guess the guy, I didn't see it, but the guy might have probably just moved her cart out of the way because she was an idiot. Tensions are high. She was probably a freaking idiot and left it in the middle. I mean, why else would he touch her cart? He's just there doing his job.
Yeah, and now, granted, this guy's also in his probably late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's out there working, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he's doing he's doing his job too. And that's one thing I gotta say really quick is I am so grateful for all the nurses and people out there, but you know what? It's about time that we start thinking about other people than doctors and nurses too, people that are working at the grocery store and dealing with crazy fucking people like this woman.
Yeah.
So she turns to this guy and she's like, sir, what the
You shouldn't have touched my cart. You shouldn't have touched my cart. You should have told me first. And the girl's just sitting there Gargamel or whatever the fuck that thing is. And I'm just looking at I was baffled by it, because usually
I just stood there and thought for a minute, and I just ended up walking away. I didn't even grab what I wanted to grab because I was just what?
Usually I'm pretty quick with the jab, so I was so baffled by someone being so rude at a time where people should be coming together that I almost came back and were hey, what? I should have been hey, shut up, Karen, you know what I mean, or whatever. Yeah. Like, that's the meme of like the woman who's like, that woman has 100% chance of telling the manager, and it's the same haircut as the meme of the woman who always tells the manager. That's her. You know what I mean? That was her right there. And then I seen her walking around. We were like walking by the frozen aisle, and I was like, yo, there's that crazy lady. Yeah, but I didn't say it like loud.
I just like, after we walked away, I was like, holy shit, like, did that just happen? I was like, how fucking rude. Like,
and it makes me scared too, because I'm worried about my business. I don't want to not.
Like, you shouldn't have touched my cart. Lady, you're in the grocery store, and this is the other thing with healthy eating and stuff. I said this to Zach after. I was like, you're in the grocery store, first of all. You shouldn't have touched my cart. You're in the chip aisle getting food so you can go home and sit on your ass
and eat chips.
And you're yelling at the guy that's putting them out there for you.
Yeah, meanwhile, this guy's like...
What kind of sense does that make?
Meanwhile, this guy's trying to probably provide for his family, make a living, and he's like 50 years old.
And he didn't say anything.
He just looked at her. Yeah, she goes, bah, and then he just looked at her.
He just looked at her and said nothing, which was probably the smartest move, because, like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty calm and collect, and I have patience, but I don't know if I could have just stood there while she was yelling at me. I would have been like, lady, I don't fucking care. I'm going to jail today. I'm going to jail. You need to back the fuck up.
Just start coughing on her.
Started, like, throwing up on her or something.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Anyway, but that was so crazy. So then we are, like, ready to check out. And, like, it wasn't the guy. Like, I love this guy. Seen him there a million times. But, like, we were doing our part. We were 6 feet away from the person that was checking out. And then all of a sudden he goes, okay, come on up. And I was like, the last time we were there was, like, they had just started sanitizing in between each person. He didn't even do that.
So what?
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, before it was like they had to halt you and they had to bust out the sprayer and she got to wipe the whole thing down.
He's like, come on up. And then I started putting everything on the belt, right? And, like, Zach's, like, pushing the cart into me, and I just kept moving. And I think I had, like, 2 feet. They had, like, this red line. I think I had, like, 2 feet over this red line. He's like, on the red line! On the red line!
I'm like, oh, shit, hands up! I'm like, hands up for me.
Am I being arrested? Holy shit. He was, like, screaming at me, on the red line, on the red line, on the red line. And I was like, he's like, I meant behind the red line. I was like,
sorry, probably should have said
that. I was like,
dude,
what red line? I didn't even see the freaking red line. And oh my gosh, it's crazy out there. I understand it. I really do. I get it.
Everybody's at like a level 8 right now.
That's what I mean. Like, we're now like like some people are like almost 2 weeks into
Some people are longer. Some people are longer.
So, like, in another week or two, people will have absolutely lost their shit. I will have absolutely lost my shit.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I just want to get back.
I'm already thinking I've lost my shit.
Yeah.
I already have.
Most people have. But yeah, that was wild. And then what makes absolutely no sense about that is right after you go, after we put the stuff on and we get behind the red line, he says, all right, come up and pay. And then you just walk right up to him.
I know. So I'm still passing by you. I am doing nothing but, like, the other people were gone. Like, I don't understand.
What they need to do is maybe do it like, if they're going
to
do that.
I was starting to think, am I going to have to pay? Like, how am I going to pay?
Yeah. They're going to have to do it like the old cigarette thing where it'd be behind the glass. Or like back, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but Toys R Us, which I'm sure is out of business, back in the day at Toys R Us, when you wanted video games, they didn't have the video games out. You would go and pick the piece of paper, and then you would take it over to the gated area, and then you'd hand it to the guy through like a glass thing. That's how fucking video games were like so crazy. And then the guy would take it, pick it, and bring it out. That's what it's probably going to go to, or it's going to be on your own. You know, because so many things are just on the honor system now. You know what I mean? So who the hell knows? But that was wild. So I just wanted to kind of end with that.
Stay safe out there, people.
Yeah, but
stay safe out there.
Those of you guys who are trained at the school, you'll have no problem because neither of those people that we talked about have any idea about leg locks or takedowns or anything like that. So I'm sure you guys are going to be fine with that. But I just think everybody needs to chill out. So one more week, like I said, thank you to everybody for listening. We're just going to keep pumping these out, and you know, maybe Coffee with Kat will be back for another podcast soon since we figured out Skype. And yeah, be on the lookout for more stuff. Do you want to plug anything? You can follow Kat on Instagram, right?
You can follow me on Instagram at Life with Kat or Coffee With Kat, I don't really want to plug anything. I'm working on my website, have been for a while. I will say that whenever this comes out, like, I am available to tutor your kids or babysit, or if you're looking for a nanny or anything like that, in the near future. And
yeah, if any of you guys are interested in that, just DM me. I'll hook you guys up, especially if you have to go back to work and, now your kid is home and you need something, just holler at us. Kat is a beast with it. She knows what she's doing. She's, a great teacher and she loves kids. So,
yeah, or even if you just like want some suggestions on stuff to do, I don't know. I'll be around for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Thank you so much for doing this. And, yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and thanks to our sponsor, Fuji Sports. If you guys don't know about Fuji, they've been in business in the jiu-jitsu, judo, martial arts business since the beginning of time. And they're our current sponsor. They sponsor Thor, they sponsor Grace, and they sponsor Finishers Enterprises. So if you've never checked out Fuji before, go to fujisports.com. They got all types of gear, gi, no gi, judo. They got lifestyle stuff. They got hoodies. They got stuff to clean the mats. And they also work great with BJJ Fanatics, which we actually have a DVD out right now. So if you go to bjjfanatics.com, search 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, or search Zach Maslany, JM Holland, and the 10 Planet Fundamentals come up. And you can buy a DVD and watch us teach some moves. So shout out to Fuji. Also, not to mention, if you're looking for mats and you want to make your school look great and you want to take your squad to the next level, then why are you training on puzzle mats, dog? You doing? Get those Fuji mats. Holler your boy. I'll hook you up with the right people, and we'll get you all set up. So whether you're looking for gear, mats, DVDs, moves, we got you covered. Fujisports.com, bjjfanatics.com. Shout out to your boy. This podcast is also brought to you guys by shopfinishers.com. That's pretty much where you can get all of our gear. You can get our Cruise Combat custom rash guards, the red one, Fire Red, the North Carolina Blue, or you can get the OD Green. We're about to drop some new shirts. That's your home for Finishers TV stuff. You can actually buy tickets on there to the Finishers 10. If you want, you can get, I'm going to be releasing a bucket hat real soon, but we got some top designers, M85 Designs, Mike Mons. We got Sharkface Apparel. My boy Bryce throwing their stuff up. You can get 10p Allentown stuff. You can get 10p Miami stuff. You can get stickers. You can get 10p Miami flip-flops. We're going to be selling everything. So always check out shopfinishers.com, and that has all your needs. You can link to it from our website, too. If you go to finishersmma.com, you can just click on shop right there and get all the swag that you need. So shopfinishers.com. It's your boy.
Are you interested in starting your own podcast but have no idea what to do? Maybe you already have the equipment you think you'll need, but don't have the time or resources to produce the podcast yourself. Whether you're in the market for a producer to take over an existing show, or you want to start a whole new podcast, PRM Podcast Productions is for you. We do everything from helping you get your show started to editing, producing, uploading, managing, promoting, and much more. We offer various plans and levels of editing, as well as many additional options to choose from. We also offer voiceover and transcription services, and can supply male, female, or kids voices for ads, promos, intros, outros, and more. If you want to know more or see our other shows we've produced, go to prmpodcastproductions.com or click on the link in the show notes. Anyone referred to us from Zach's Corner Podcast or from Finishers MMA will receive a 10% discount.